I think the man who had the true report card and who knew who William Ruto was the emeritus president, the immediate president, Uhuru Kenyatta. And Uhuru Kenyatta, in a nice way, in the stature of a president, he tried to warn us, and we mocked him, we fought him, and we felt like, I think, to Achisha used to say it was the Tupangui. The mask William Ruto wears every morning he wakes up and meets you with all white teeth and smiles at you. It's not the mouth and the teeth you meet in the evening or behind those offices, but the real him and the man who now has unfolded as a president. I said he's a grand ruler, a dictator, a thief, looted master, systemic economic saboteur of government agencies, ministries, sagas, land, a grabber, a killer.
I hear you, and I hear where you're coming from. The question a lot of us would ask on the other side would be, you campaigned for William, of course. You were one of the top campaigners, even Rigathi and all those, even Justin Muturi. When you people were campaigning for him, are you trying to tell me this is a side of the president that you had no idea?
Oh, yes.
Or did you just decide,
Oh, yes,
let's push Kenya towards a man who cannot deliver?
Let me tell you, I've done interviews a number of times, and so I know you do when you're recruiting people, and you've entered rooms and spaces for opportunities. The persona of a man cannot be concluded in a mere interview, because when somebody is running for an office, you appear before the public, sell your campaign agenda, your manifesto, your everything. I think the man who had the true report card and who knew who William Ruto was the emeritus president, the immediate president, Uhuru Kenyatta. And Uhuru Kenyatta, in a nice way, in the stature of a president, he tried to warn us, and we mocked him, we fought him, and we felt like, I think, to Achisha used to say it was the Tupangui. We were like, don't panga us. We have already pangad ourselves with William Ruto. The mask William Ruto wears every morning he wakes up and meets you with all white teeth and smiles at you. It's not the mouth and the teeth you meet in the evening or behind closed door offices. Behind closed door offices is a very vicious man, very vengeful. And a man who will keep looking at you, scheming on how he will execute judgment on a community, on a person. A man who holds grudges for years. And a man who once said and is quoted, and I hope you get this for our viewers as you broadcast this. President William Ruto have a curated image of a patriot, a man who loves people, a man who appears before women and our children and innocent Kenyans who are not politically exposed as a man of God. He has been able to cure his image to look like a man of God and to look like he really loved Christianity and loved to make the world a better place. But the real him and the man who now has unfolded as a president, I said he's a grand ruler, a dictator, a thief, looted master, systemic economic saboteur of government agencies, ministries, sagas, land, a grabber, a killer, and a man who ruthlessly have no mercy on children. And when I talk about children, I talk about even teenagers, the Gen Zs, and everybody. I therefore would say William Ruto, I was describing him as a man who never forgive and a man who holds grudges forever, and a man who died holding grudges and really, so he's so desirous to revenge. He was quoted in Baringo in a meeting I was, by that meeting he said, "Nyinyi hamna shida na Wakikuyu." I was just right behind him.
Mimi nauliza nyinyi, kama mko na shida na Wakikuyu, hamuko na shida na Wakikuyu kuliko sisi wa Kalenjin. Tuko na shida kubwa zaidi. Sawa sawa? Lakini ikifika mahali unatofautisha maneno, unaweka maneno ya tofauti za kijamii kando, unatafuta serikali kwanza, kwa sababu ile serikali itakusaidia kutatua matatizo ulio nayo.
And by the way, I asked him, boss, what was the meaning of that? He said, ni siasa, just leave it. But to me, we were somewhere in Baringo. I think Baringo South. He really meant it, because I do not really relate two facts: that there would be no President William Ruto. He would not have won 2022 general election without Mount Kenya people, home and diaspora. It is the Kikuyu community who sorry refused to listen to our son, who ruled us as a president for 10 years, Uhuru Kenyatta. And we decided we are going to side with his deputy.
But let me ask you, now that you're already there, why do you think Ruto would have a problem with Mount Kenya, or specifically the Kikuyu community? What's the problem?
I think on record, I would want to relate on what is on record. On record, until the day William Ruto, the president, substantiates his words, saying nyinyi hamna shida na Wakikuyu kama sisi jamii ya Wakalenjin. I think I'm alive to the fact that he still doesn't mean that. He has not substantiated that as a leader, despite the fact the people of Mount Kenya voted for him. He viciously and maliciously branded his deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, as a tribalist, tried to edge him out of government by inciting elected leaders in the National Assembly and in the Senate against his deputy, inciting his attack dogs and sending them to go attack his deputy. He was not attacking His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua. His attacks were meant towards the Kikuyu community.